Hi there, my name is Sam, and with this video I want to invite you into the Circling SAS Leadership and Embodiment training that I'm co-organizing here in Switzerland in Zurich with Circling Europe, and it's starting this year in September. And in this video I want to give you some insights into the Circling SAS training and also on circling in general if you've never heard of this before, and also share some personal experiences that I had with this training. So when I look back before I did this circling training and I remember how I remember myself being socially awkward, feeling isolated, not really knowing how to create a meaningful connection with somebody else, another person. And also my life was feeling quite shallow. Like I was longing for something more fulfilling, something more alive, something more deep, and I didn't really know how to create that. And I wasn't aware of this unconscious material that was creating the experience that I had. So basically, I felt like floating along on the surface of my life. And now, after doing this circling training, I feel so much more relaxed within myself because I just trust that I can show up with who I am from each moment to the next, even if that's vulnerable. Because what I learned in this training is that just being myself and sharing that authentically and actually owning my experience and bringing that into the world is actually what creates the most meaningful connection with other people. And this in turn then inspired me to be more authentic, clear and direct in everything I do. So the Circling SAS really had an impact on my whole life, not just on my personal life or my relational life. It really created a new way of relating to myself and a deeper connection to everything that I do. I now also know how I can create meaningful relationships with almost anybody who also wants that, and how I can create spaces where people just feel invited to be authentic and be vulnerable and share from the heart about where they're at. And I also feel connected to meaning and to what is really important for me, and I'm just going for that. I'm just going for what I really want and what I want to see in this world, and actually just doing it. So in general I could say that a big chunk of the things that have been holding me back from actually bringing myself into this world more fully have been moved aside by the Circling SAS training. And that's why I'm so fascinated about it. I think this training is some seriously life-changing stuff right there. And that's also why I want to share this with you and invite you into this possibility. So what is circling? If you've never heard of this before, here's a short explanation of what we do in circling. So when I'm circling, I'm being aware of my personal subjective experience. So I'm being aware of my bodily sensations, I'm being aware of my emotions and feelings, I'm being aware of my thoughts and my interpretations that I make about situations, and also where my attention is moving naturally. Is my attention moving into me and what I'm experiencing, or is it moving outside and being drawn to somebody in the group, something like that. And so from this connectedness to myself, from being connected with my own personal experience, I'm then exploring the connection with other people. So it's about the leadership of bringing this authentic expression of who I am from moment to moment, bringing that into the group. And if everybody does this, if everybody shares and lives and acts from a place where they share what they're really feeling and what they are really thinking, a completely new space emerges. A space in which everything that is present is okay and nothing has to be changed. And a space in which instead of trying to fit in, you can experience that actually just being yourself is what creates the most connection, the most impact on other people, where people can really see you for who you are and you can really see people for who they are, and meeting, an intimate, personal meeting becomes possible. And so that is what we do in circling in a nutshell. And now why is this experience so powerful? And also why do I think it's so important for us? Here's why. I think that when we are in our day-to-day awareness, we're being with friends, we're being with family, we're being at the workplace, or even in an intimate relationship, we're actually holding back so much of our authenticity. And it's most of the time that's happening unconsciously, so we're not even aware that we are holding back our authenticity or not living from that place. And it's also not our fault that we're not sharing this or showing up with this authenticity, but there's generally just so much fear and shame and guilt around this authentic expression of who we are from each moment to the next. And this can be through childhood experiences, but it can also be through cultural ideas that we don't share our needs. For example, with this idea of you should care for other people's needs first and put yours last, and it's egotistical, it's selfish to put your needs first, or something like that. And these ideas, they have some truth to them in certain situations where that's important to do, but in general they're just used to discourage this expression of healthy selfishness, and also authentic expression of where you want to go and what you really need in each moment. And I think that's a really sad condition, this discouragement of authentic expression. And I think it's a sad condition because I know and I experienced that where your uniqueness and where your weirdness and your aliveness lies, that's the place that is the most inspiring and the most enriching for everybody. Not just for you, so that you can live a fuller and more alive life, but also for all the people around you. Because you then create a space, when you're coming from this uniqueness and this weirdness as well, of who you are, you're actually creating a space where everybody feels invited to do the same thing. And a meeting can occur where you're meeting as who you are in each moment, and that's just the greatest gift that you can give to somebody else. It's the greatest gift that I can receive from another human being, just feeling okay and respected in who I am in each moment. And if we can get together in places where this mutual respect for this uniqueness that each and every one of us holds, and also where this authentic expression is actually invited, like in the Circling SAS, that's the places where I have seen the most beautiful meetings happen between people. Because in these spaces an integration becomes possible between my personal needs and also the needs of the group. And it's just such an elegant way to meet life's challenges and finding more creative solutions to the problems that we face as individuals, but also as a society as a whole. And I would want that our whole society function from this place and actually invites more authenticity, vulnerability, and integrity. The Circling SAS training can also be really challenging, so I also want to mention that here in this video. Circling is really this adventure, it's this archetypal hero's journey. So you will be asked to step into your own life's journey and actually face the places within yourself that are challenging. And these can be the places where you're, for example, moving away from your authenticity, where you're stepping over your boundaries, where you're doing things for other people that you don't really want to do. Or where you're stepping away from self-leadership, where you're stepping away from your responsibility that you hold as a human being. And also, you will be able to look at the why behind these challenging experiences. Why are you stepping over your boundaries? Why are you giving away your responsibility or your self-leadership, or moving away from your authenticity? And with the support of this group of committed individuals that are themselves on their own hero's journey, you will be able to look at these places and explore these places, and also move through the eye of the needle and come out on the other side. And it's also the hero's journey in both aspects. So it's not just the challenging parts of the hero's journey, but it's also the rewarding parts and the big boon that you can get from actually embarking on this adventure. So within the mud of these challenging experiences, you will also find the treasures and the pearls that really make you you and make your unique gifts. And you will be able to embody these things that you find there and actually bring them into your daily life, so that you can bring yourself more fully into this world and live from a place of more authenticity and empowerment. And maybe for you that's the feeling of deep relaxation, for finally being at home within yourself. Maybe for you that's the ability to create meaningful connection with other people so that you can experience true intimacy. Or maybe for you that's stepping away from something that is holding you back, something that is no longer aligned with your deeper calling. Or maybe it's finding a place where you can fully express yourself and bring your gifts into this world and actually go towards that and find a work where you can express that. And whatever it is that is the most important to you, this Circling SAS training will allow you to explore exactly these topics and fields in connection with like-minded people and integrate them into your personal life so that you can step out of this training and actually live from this place. So here's how this training looks like. The SAS Leadership Embodiment training is a 6-month training, and within this 6 months you get 3 weekends of 4 full days where we get together in person and we immerse ourselves in this practice of circling. And the training also starts with a weekend, so we have one of these weekends in the beginning of the 6-month period, one in the middle and one in the end. So the first weekend is really getting together, getting to know the group, so that we can really start this training off as a group and get together in person and get to know each other. So that's really a great thing to get started. And this first weekend will be in September in Zurich. And between the weekends you get further calls that are taking place online, and there are different formats to these calls. So there are group calls, which can be informative calls where you get more theory on circling. It can also be group calls where you circle again and deepen the practice online. Then you get one body call each week, so you get a continuous practice going, and you can also integrate circling into your life in a good way. And then also you will get 5 coaching calls where the team gets in contact with you, or someone of the team gets in contact with you, and you'll get circled on a topic that is the most important to you. So you'll get the possibility to explore this theme with a senior leader from the team. And so there's a lot to dive into with the circling training. And with that, I'm coming to the end of this short video. If anything I shared in this video here speaks to you and you would want to get some more information on this Circling SAS training, feel free to get in contact with me. You will find my email and my phone number somewhere around the video, depending on where you see this, and I will be happy to answer your questions if you got any. And also, if you feel ready and set and you decided to do the training, you will find the registration link somewhere around this video as well. And there's also the link to the website of Circling Europe, where you get more information on the Circling SAS. And that's it from my side. I wish you all the best and maybe see you soon. Bye.